All right, it's your boy Spank Dog, aka Puffinstein, at YouTube. Like, comment, share, subscribe. You already know. Let's get into it. All right, so today we have some comedians getting on Stephen Miller, in my opinion, deservedly so. Um, we're gonna hit play right away and get it started.
I just hate these guys so much. I hate this administration. Out of everybody, Stephen Miller gets under my skin the most. He drives me nuts. Stephen Miller is what happens when Squidward reads Mein Kampf. That's what I realized. Like every time he talks, all I can hear is SpongeBob, or you gotta make Bikini Bottom pure, SpongeBob. We need to deport Sandy Cheeks, SpongeBob. She's money the races. Did you get your tattoo, SpongeBob? You have to join the Aryan Brotherhood. It's perfect.
This man's name is Liam Wolf. It says Liam Wolfpack at TikTok. I'm particular about my comedians, but when they're speaking about a person that has caught my eye for the wrong reasons, I'll tend to watch even if they're my favorite comedian or they're not my favorite comedian.
Did you sign up for ICE yet, SpongeBob?
The comedians are having a field day with Stephen Miller.
I went to high school with Stephen Miller, and he's always been an evil little dweeb.
I don't know if this guy's being serious or not. The way he comes off, it sounds like he really went to school with Stephen Miller, but I'm not certain. I'm gonna look it up afterwards. But if he went to school with Stephen Miller, it's even more hilarious.
Our biology teacher refused to give Stephen permission to handle the animals because she said that he was not fit to interact with living things. So she gave him a Tamagotchi for our animal unit, and he literally just sat in the corner all semester and starved it. One time in English class, when we were reading Fahrenheit 451, Stephen began to weep. When the teacher asked why he was moved to tears, Stephen said that the book burning was so beautiful and that he couldn't hold back. He was also just overall a strange guy. Like, he would take those baby carrots, and instead of like eating them normally at lunch, he would suck on them slowly, and he would eat them all day for like hours. The whole school kind of united around how much we disliked Stephen. Like, he tried to invade the Dungeons and Dragons club and take over their game, but they said they didn't want a totalitarian dungeon master. So the football players came to physically escort him out of the Dungeons and Dragons game.
Obvious satire here, guys. Don't get it twisted.
Hello, I'm Stephen Miller.
He said obvious satire here, guys. Don't get it twisted. So I don't think the guy went to school with him, but he sure sounded like he did. But for the channel's sake, we'll assume that he didn't go to school with him.
Miller, advisor to President Trump. Yesterday, Elon Musk sent me an email.
I gotta rewind
Dragons game.
Obvious.
Oh man, this guy is too much. The guy coming up. I've always told people that there's something about Stephen Miller. You know what I'm saying? And then, when I first seen Stephen Miller, I was like, who is this guy? Like, he just got a bad vibe, and I mean a really bad vibe. And then sure enough, he starts doing things that match the way he looks. So the guy coming up, I find real funny, but I'm not gonna OD. I want y'all people to see it.
Obvious satire here, guys. Don't get it twisted.
Hello, I'm Stephen Miller, advisor to President Trump. Yesterday, Elon Musk sent me an email asking me what I accomplished last week. So here goes. First, flooded the zone with the tears of unicorns. Second, finally returned those scam hair plugs. You're going to hear from RFK and the FDA, sexyscalpalphamale.com. Third, convinced 5 more people that I am human. Elon also said that responses should not disclose classified information. For example, here's one from the CIA. Monday, drove somewhere. Friday, drove back. Here's another one from one of our newest White House employees. For anonymity, I will refer to him as Vladimir P. Monday, sent box of cash and fresh babies to Tucker Carlson. Tuesday, sexy weekly Zoom chat with Donnie. Wednesday, continued trying to improve Microsoft Teams. That one's a little too evil, even for me.
An account devoted to mocking Miller would put this up.
Fact to you is the facts are the dead bodies. The facts are.
I seen this. Yo, listen, man. This man is, I forget his position in politics. Look, I looked it up, you know, because in my head, I'm like, how did this man come to power? How would anybody let this man be like attorney general or whatever his position is? So I looked it up. It says Stephen Miller rose to a position of significant power in American politics, particularly within the Donald Trump administration through a combination of early radicalization, calculated networking with conservative circles, and unwavering loyalty to Donald Trump's America's First agenda. He is described as a true believer whose influence stems from his ability to convert hardline ideological beliefs into specific, actionable policy. Stephen Miller, in my opinion, is no good for this country. He's not a good person overall, and this is a fact. I'm very good at not letting the wrong one in. So, like, you know, because how I've come up, letting the wrong person in your circle could be very disastrous. You know, I was in a place where there were a lot of people that would do, you know, messed up stuff if you let yourself be around them or let them wiggle their way in. And, you know, I've done a good job my whole life of only messing with people that are honorable. You know, my big shout to Vice, my son's godfather. You know what I'm saying? And big shout out to all the homies. They know what I'm talking about. So, but yeah, you know, where I come from, you can't let the wrong one in, you know, and I would never mess with a dude like Stephen Miller. Never.
You said that Caracas has a lowest crime rate than the USA.
The facts are
the reporter gets under his skin, and instead of carrying himself like a professional, I'm more professional than Stephen Miller on my YouTube channel than he is in politics, because I come up here knowing you can't do certain things, you can't say certain things. If that was the case, I would be going nuts right now talking about how I don't like Stephen Miller. You know, I said a few things, but not in the way I would like to sometimes if I was with my friends or whatever. So I come up here and I try to keep it professional. This, you know, this is one of the first times in my life I've ever had to, not even had to, I've chosen to curb my true self, because you can't bring that to the job. I've said it before. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to do the right thing. And then you see a dude like this. He's being interviewed by this man. This man is asking him a simple question. And, you know, in my opinion, people like Stephen Miller exaggerate and blatantly lie, in my opinion. You know, just like Caroline Levitt, just like Pam Bondi, just like Kristi Noem, you know, just like J.D. Vance, just like any of the crew, you know, but especially Kash Patel, Caroline Levitt, Stephen Miller, Pam Bondi, and Kristi Noem. Those are the real five. You could tell they don't care about people. They'll lie at the drop of a dime. See, when I come up here, I don't give you my true self 100% because YouTube will get mad. It's not because I'm scared to show you my true colors. And what's crazy is my true colors are that of a good-hearted person 10 times more than this man you're watching right now. Watch how he can't stand that the news reporters asking him a question that would make him look wrong, and he refuses to answer it and starts acting like a baby.
mutilated bodies. The facts are the people in the morgues that are dead.
I was asking you about Caracas and the numbers in Caracas. Are you trusting the numbers of the dictatorship?
I am trusting the fact that Kamala Harris is letting illegal immigrants into this country who are raping and murdering children.
I had been very respectful. Why are you yelling?
Do you know who Jocelyn Ungary is? Do you know who she is?
Do you know how many people is experiencing violence in Caracas?
Who is she? Who is Laken Riley?
Why are you yelling again?
Because I'm yelling because children are being raped and murdered.
I was just asking for figures, and you have not replied to me about those figures.
Murdered. Do you know who Kayla Hamilton is?
Do you trust the numbers of Nicolas Maduro? I'm asking again.
I trust a ruthless dictator will empty his prisons and send their criminals to our country.
Do you trust his numbers?
The most dangerous gang in Venezuela is
Do you trust Nicolas Maduro?
I trust that he does not want his criminal.
If a man like that can get like that on public TV and not control himself, you can see how easy it is to get under his skin and make him jump up and down. Imagine if he gets angry when the cameras aren't on him, because the cameras are all over him and he's acting like a child, not a politician. And he never answers the reporter's question neither. And you know, he doesn't look professional at all.
So you believe in his numbers?
I believe he's sending his criminals to our country.
And do you think that the crime rate in Venezuela have decreased?
Do you not believe the law enforcement reports of Venezuelan gangs in this country?
I was asking for the Venezuelan government figures, not the figures here.
Are Venezuelan gangs in this country or not? Yes or no?
What are the figures that you say to say that in
He's not the interviewer. He's asking the question because he don't want to answer the news reporter's question. The reporters made it clear that I asked you about what's going on in Venezuela, not in America.
Caracas, the number is lower than in the USA.
Venezuelan gangs in this country or not?
So you don't have numbers.
Let's just remember who the guy is.
Stephen Miller is a true believer. You best believe that he believes white folk are superior, and he wants to ensure that this country stays as white as possible. You see the tweets by Elon Musk?
For as long as possible.
We also have to remember that some of this is economics, right? Some of this is for the economic benefit of those individuals. Some of it's also
economics and politics go hand in hand, people. Oligarchs might be more powerful than politicians in the present.
Cultural too, because there are individuals in this White House, there are Stephen Millers in this White House who really fear the United States becoming browner. They fear the participation of Black and brown folk. And so they are trying to do everything they can to reverse the tide of immigration, migration, and reverse the tide of diversity that we've seen in this country. And you see,
big facts. That's it says Native Land Pod. I wanted to shout him out. It says Native Land Pod YouTube. Yeah, big shout out. He's very intelligent. He's telling it like it is. I concur on everything he said.
See that with efforts like South Africa. You see that with efforts like Venezuela. You're going to see more and more of those things.
And what he stands for.
Piece you wrote, you described your nephew, Stephen Miller, as an immigration hypocrite. What do you mean by that?
It's an important question. And I have to preface my response by saying that I wrote this article more in sadness than in anger or resentment. Our family history is entirely dependent upon the fact that our family was able to escape from a terrible situation in what is now the country of Belarus. In those days,
you hear this, right?
It was part of the Russian Empire.
Your family first came here, I think, in the early 1900s.
The first of our particular group came over in 1903. They worked for a while peddling fruit and doing sweatshop work, and then they were able to round up enough money to bring over the rest of the immediate family. Everybody else who didn't make it, they were all swept away in the Holocaust and dead.
And so you're saying the hypocrisy let's put it simply.
Had we not...
This man is outright saying that Stephen Miller is a hypocrite. It's not coming out of my mouth. It's coming out of his mouth. So, and I mean, I believe everybody can be hypocritical to a degree, but when you hold a power in the government, when you hold a position in the government, and you have that much power, you got to be careful not to be a hypocrite. That's just a fact. If your job entails no hypocrisy, you have to be more careful.
Not been able to enter America when we did, Stephen Miller would never exist.
You referred to your nephew Stephen as an immigration hypocrite. Do you see this administration itself as hypocritical? The First Lady, her parents just got citizenship based on what the administration would call chain migration.
Well, let's think of it for a second. As far as I understand, Mr. Trump's grandfather came over, or either his father or his grandfather came over as an immigrant from Germany.
His wife too.
Trying to avoid draft into the German army. He's trying to find a new life here in the United States. His mother, I think, escaped the poverty of Scotland, looking for a better opportunity in New York City. And he is married as a what's the count now? 3 immigrant women in the United States, and has just through chain migration, her parents have been made citizens of the United States, and I welcome them.
And how his family.
People got to understand that how much this is about money. People have to wake up. You understand? Like if the people at the top could capitalize more off of immigrants, they would. But it's more profitable at the moment to kick them out. If it becomes more profitable for them to bring them back in, I guarantee you they'll let people in again.
Despises him. Melissa Casimir, Stephen Miller's cousin, took to Facebook to disown him. Many of you know who my cousin is. Being public about it is something I've struggled with. I live with real fear about what posting something this raw might bring. I am living with the deep pain of watching someone I once loved become the face of evil. But I know that staying silent only deepens the ache. There's so much more I could say, and maybe someday I will. It's a long read. I'm wordy AF.
Listen, we're going to pause it on that one. Let that sink in. You know, and listen, I'm passionate about this. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be extra. I try not to, like I said, I come on here, I try to make it where it's good for the viewers. You know, I don't want to make it where, you know, I want to have fun while I do what I do. But, and I'm passionate about this, but I got to be careful that my passion doesn't make me neglect people that watch. But the reason I pause it on this is because that's his family member. Look at what he wrote. I'm going to read it one more time. Many of you know who my cousin is. Being public about it is something I've struggled with. I live with real fear about what posting something this raw might bring. I'm living with the deep pain of watching someone I once loved become the face of evil.